Hey everyone, welcome back to Pyurologie. I'm Puri. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're having a great day. Today I'm going to be comparing the recently released Google Pixel Watch versus the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. This is the first year that Samsung has added a Pro model to their Galaxy Watch line. Being a longtime Galaxy user, I was very interested to check it out. So the way I'm going to review and compare these watches is from a light smartwatch user's perspective. I don't really use all the features on these watches. And to be honest, before I got the Watch 5 Pro, probably 80% of the time, my watch wasn't even charged. The reason for that is up until now, every watch that I've owned required me to charge it basically every night, and sometimes multiple times a day, depending on how much I used it. So it got to the point where I really didn't use the watch, and it just became a fashion accessory. This year with the Watch 5 Pro, they've increased the battery capacity and it lasts up to 3 days on one charge. So because of this feature, I've actually been using the watch more and finally becoming more of a smartwatch user. The Bluetooth version of the Watch 5 Pro costs $449, and the cellular version I believe is $499 retail. There are two colors available for the Watch 5 Pro, black titanium and gray titanium. This is the black titanium model. It's got a matte finish, as you can see. It's a 45mm case, but the screen size is actually the same as last year's Galaxy Watch Classic 4. If you actually look at the screen real estate, they're the same. In terms of the design, I think they did a great job keeping the design minimal, but it has presence. The dish here is pretty thick, but I think it adds to the look of the watch, and I really like what they've done with the design. And you can clearly see it's an evolution from the previous one, but it still looks fresh and new. So I really appreciate what they've done with their design. I think it looks great. I like how it's a lot bigger. I have big hands, so I like a large watch face, and this is really substantial and takes up a lot of real estate on my wrist. So I really like the way this watch looks. The new band with the split down the middle just looks really premium. The way the clasp opens up is just really easy to use. It works very well. It's resilient. The bottom portion that makes contact with your skin, it protrudes a little more, as you can see from the previous model. When I'm wearing it, it doesn't feel any more or less comfortable. It feels about the same. You can see this is a lot thicker. This is to house the much larger battery. And I actually like how it's got more bulk. To remove the bands, there are levers that lock in here. And you can see I've just pulled that off. There are levers that lock in to recessed portions on the watch itself. To put it back on, there's one end where you can depress the pin. Put the solid end in first. Get the band lined up, and then it will snap back into place. Okay. You can swipe down to see quick functions. You can swipe left to see notifications. Right now I don't have any. You can swipe from the bottom to see your apps. You can see this thing runs very smoothly. And from the right you can see your quick tiles. This top button is the home button. This is the back button. If you hold them both, you can power down the device. I'm not going to do that. Instead of this rotating bezel like we had before, so now we have a digital bezel. If you run your finger along the outside edge of the watch face, you'll get haptic feedback. It's the same thing as using that rotating bezel from the watches before. So the design change, a lot of people didn't like it. I mean, I liked the rotating bezel, but I like this too, so I don't dislike this. I like both of them. Battery life, like I said, is amazing on this thing. It lasts up to 3 days at a time on one charge, and I'm one that doesn't really like to put my watches on a charger. I don't know, I just get lazy about it. And the fact that this has such great battery life, I've been actually able to integrate it into my life comfortably, and that's been the biggest factor. Charging, it charges very quick. I'm gonna look up the stats here and then I'll add it in at the bottom. So it's on Wear OS 3.5 and it has a One UI watch version 4.5. This is the watch face I normally use on it. I like very minimalistic, simple designs that have good clean lines. Overall, I'm really loving this watch. This is the first watch, like I said before, that I'm actually utilizing the features of and integrating into my life. So the step counter has been really cool and it's been making me be more mindful of my fitness activity throughout the day. So I guess the biggest thing I've been liking about it is that it has naturally made things more convenient for me. The biggest thing I would say is checking notifications on new emails and messages. It's very convenient to do it on here and reply very quickly, check it without pulling my phone out and unlocking it, opening up the app. It seems like such an easy thing to do, but just making that process that much more simple, it makes me really appreciate this watch and the features that it has. So I'm going to show you the way I'll score these devices in these reviews. Like I said, it's going to be coming from a light smartwatch user's perspective. I'm just as interested in how it looks as what it can do and how it performs. So here's my scoring system. Alright, so like I mentioned before, I was never really super interested in smartwatches. I originally got one because it looked cool and there was a good bundle deal when I got a new phone. So the things that I look for are a beautiful design, and I look for innovation in any form. Next, I'm interested in personalization of the device, i.e. changing watch bands, changing faces, even changing the color of the case. And then next is battery life and how easily does it integrate into daily use seamlessly without me having to really go out of my way to do that. And here's how I'm scoring the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro. In the design department, I'm going to give it an 8.5. It's very good. I don't consider it to be special looking. I give it a solid B+, 8.5 on design. On the innovation side, I'm going to give it a 7. This watch has the biggest battery for a smartwatch ever, and just for that reason alone, that has turned me into an actual smartwatch user. So I give them a 7 on that. Right now, no one's really innovating on smartwatches anyways, so this is a tough category in general for smartwatches in my opinion right now. They're trying to work out battery life and the balance of always on features versus, how much they should really be tracking each statistic. I think Samsung is ahead in that category, and Google is going to have to catch up as this is their first time dipping their feet in the water. In terms of personalization, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro gets an 8 from me. I was able to purchase a lot of extra different bands, different cases, and I can really change the look of the watch pretty easily. Battery life, it gets a 10. That's pretty easy. I've gone over that pretty extensively. For how easily does it integrate into my daily use, I'm going to give it a 9 because I've owned 4 different smartwatches up till now, and this is the only one that I've actually started to use the features of on a daily basis. And yeah, so that's why it gets a 9 for me in this category. So adding it all up, the Samsung Galaxy Watch 5 Pro gets a pyurologie score of 81.5. So I just turned on my watch and my phone was on, and this automatically pinged my phone and opened up that link at the bottom. That's pretty cool. I didn't even know it was going to do that. Okay. 784-408. Got it. Alright, while I was doing that, let's try this. Okay, we got exercises, active zone minutes, continuous heart rate tracking, ECG, sleep tracking. You're automatically pushed into getting a paid subscription, which is $9.99 a month or $79.99 a year. You get a 6-month subscription. First thing I'm gonna do, hey Google, remind me to cancel Fitbit in 5 months. Here's the watch itself. This is the gold Hazel version. I think the colors look really nice and premium. The black one looks also very nice, but I'm getting a little bit tired of just black on black on black, even though it looks great. So recently I've been expanding my color selection on my devices, and I'm really happy with this colorway. I think it looks great. Looks really premium, gray and gold. They call it golden hazel. The actual face is rounded, so it looks kind of like a pill from the side. But the top is flat, so it's not like if you drop it, it's gonna have like one hard point that it lands on. It is flat. Thing with this, if you put a protective cover on this, it might ruin the look of it, so you might need to get like a 3M skin or something like that rather than a glass cover. You can see the sensor going off there. So we've got some complications on the front by default. This will take you into your menu. You can see every app that's available. Swiping down gives you your quick settings. Swiping from the left will go into your tiles. I don't have any added yet, but you can add some quickly by just holding down the watch face on the front. And then if we go into the menu, you can see some of the watch faces that are available. You can also do this from your phone. This one looks really cool. You can see that the bezel is actually pretty large, but it doesn't really bother me because when you're using it, you can't really notice. Most of the UI it has a black background, and the OLED screen has really dark black. So you can see the bezel is pretty large there. Compared to the Watch 5 Pro, it does look like the Watch 5 Pro has a little bit more real estate on the screen side. It's also faded out towards the edge of the pixel, so that gives it even less real estate. But like I said, in use, it doesn't really bother me, and they've done a really good job with the UI to make it all kind of look seamless. And in terms of smartwatches, I think this is the best design I've seen for a smartwatch. It looks really simple but elegant. It's got very clean lines. The band just kind of seamlessly exits from the watch body, and it looks so clean. I just really like the elegance of the lines on this design. And in terms of smartwatches, yeah, this has the most elegant looking design, I'd say. So I like to have different style, and I think this is on a different design spectrum than the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, but I really appreciate what they've done with this design. I was really attracted by the aesthetics of this watch. Battery life, they say it's up to 24 hours. I feel like it's been less. It's been pretty bad, and I've had to charge it every night for sure, and a couple days I had to charge it during the day too. So the good thing about it though is that it charges very quickly. Okay, so here's how I'm scoring the Google Pixel Watch in gold and hazel. On the design side, I'm gonna give the Google Pixel Watch a 10. I just personally love the design. I think the lines are so clean while looking modern. The way the band exits the frame seamlessly, the shape of the actual face itself, how it's rounded. So everything about it looks sleek, elegant, modern, clean, and it does it with just a few lines, and that's what I really love about it. In terms of innovation, on the feature side, it doesn't have much, and I think this goes back to using an outdated chip internally. From everything I've read, it sounds like this was a watch planned for release in 2019, but COVID kind of sidetracked all of their release plans. I've been on the inside for large product launches, and I know they don't go as planned most of the time. So to me, this seems like something they wanted to release before COVID. Things got sidetracked, and now they're kind of bandaging it up so that they can salvage some of the loss. And I think that's the reason why it has a 2019 chip when all the other competition contains newer hardware and more integrated features. My own prediction is that they wanted to release this to salvage their losses, and then they're going to release a Pro version at some point to compete with the Apple Watch and Galaxy Watch Pro. So I'm going to be on the lookout for that. I think this is a good entry. I can definitely see myself using this more for activity, just because it's more comfortable and hugs your wrist a little more than the Samsung watch. But anyways, moving on. Personalization, I've already purchased a bunch of bands for it. You can get it in silicone, you can get it in fabric, you can get it in leather. There's a lot of options. Google has a two-tone band that looks really, really nice and premium. I'm waiting for those to be released. On the personalization side, I give it a 7 just because I can't really do anything with the case compared to the Galaxy Watch 5 Pro, where I can put a cover over it and completely change the look of it. For battery life, I'm gonna give it a 5. I might even want to score it lower. For a modern watch in 2022 that costs $300, it should just have better battery life, period. The one saving grace is that it does charge pretty quickly. Again, like I said earlier, battery life is the entire reason that I actually started using my smartwatch. So I'm giving it a 5 here. For how easily does it integrate into my daily use, I'm going to give it a 7. I use Google Suite for my personal and professional productivity use, and it's got a lot of integrated features that automatically pop up, and that's been really convenient to use. Like I said earlier though, the problem is the battery life for me, so I'm just lazy about charging things. My phone half the time is at 25%. It's enough trouble for me to get my phone charged for me to bother charging my watch as well. So that's the reason I give it a 7. So adding all the scores up, the Google Pixel Watch comes to a total pyurologie score of 68. So thank you so much for joining me today and spending your time here. I hope this was helpful to you. If it was, please remember to drop a like and subscribe for more content like this, and have a great day.